the first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Listen, the drama just hit a whole new level. Prince's name is now popping up in connection to Diddy's trial. Nobody saw that coming. We already knew from Jason Lee that Diddy used to throw some straight-up wild parties at Prince's crib, but baby, this right here, this is a twist no one expected.
Health problems?
That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him abusing drugs. He worked out, so, that also really concerned me because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
Now imagine this. What if Prince had the cameras rolling the whole time? He wasn't just private, he was strategic. Always 10 steps ahead. Always in control. He never showed up at those parties himself, which made people think he just didn't mess with the chaos. But now, people are whispering something different. What if he had dirt on everything that went down in his house and kept that footage hidden? Some folks believe he passed it on to someone before he died. And with the way things are unfolding now, there's real buzz that those tapes could surface in court. That's wild. And don't think the courtroom surprises stopped there. Even the jury selection had jaws on the floor. Names were flying left and right. Some we expected, some we definitely didn't. Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, Lauren London. Like, what is going on?
On December 31st, 1999, my publishing contract with Warner Chappell expired, thus emancipating the name I was given before birth, Prince, from all long-term restrictive documents.
Now let's talk about the names we did expect to be dragged into this mess, starting with Cassie. She was the first one to step forward and drop that bombshell lawsuit. And her claims? Straight up disturbing. According to Cassie, plenty of Diddy's own people, bad boy employees, assistants, security, saw what went down. But not a single soul had the guts to speak up. And it gets even darker. Cassie said those same assistants were the ones delivering apology gifts after violent outbursts. And it didn't stop there. She claimed they were also the ones setting up the infamous freak-offs, booking hotel rooms, prepping the scenes with baby oil and astrolight. Like, what kind of job description is that? And here's where it really hits. Cassie said that after one of those traumatic incidents, both Diddy's head of security and his assistants saw her condition, and they broke down crying. That's how bad it was. If that's true, best believe those staff members are getting subpoenaed real quick. Oh, and don't forget about Harve Pierre. His name came up in another lawsuit against Diddy, filed by Jane Doe. And yep, he's reportedly landed on the witness list too.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it, as it's been well chronicled in deep dispute with my record label.
Which is Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah. We had some issues that were basically about ownership of the music and how often I was supposed to record and things like that. I really searched deep within to find out the answer to whether fame was most important to me or my spiritual well-being, and I chose the latter.
One Jane Doe claimed that Harve Pierre convinced her to fly all the way from Detroit to Jersey, only for her to allegedly be assaulted by both Harve and Diddy. That's not just messy, that's straight up terrifying. But the names don't stop there. Young Miami, who was on Diddy's payroll, was allegedly involved too, not just as a bystander, but rumored to be transporting substances for him. And guess what? Her name popped up during jury selection. This isn't just touching celebrities, it's reaching everyone in Diddy's circle. Another surprising name? Dallas Austin. Most folks know him as a music producer, but what many don't realize is he was childhood friends with Kim Porter, Diddy's late partner. And ever since Kim's sudden death, rumors have swirled about whether Diddy had anything to do with it. Now, with Dallas being mentioned, people are wondering if this piece of the puzzle is about to crack wide open. And then there's Lorianne Gibson, the choreographer for Making the Band. She actually filed a police report back in 2007, claiming Diddy picked up a chair and threatened her on set. That's some seriously unhinged behavior. Aubrey O'Day, she's been loud and clear, backing Cassie's claims and exposing Diddy's alleged inappropriate behavior toward her too. And yep, former Donity K member Dawn Richard is in the mix as well. She even sued Diddy, accusing him of serious misconduct. According to the lawsuit, Diddy's alleged abuse wasn't just behind closed doors. It reportedly started right on set during the filming of Making the Band. He was accused of hurling nasty, demeaning insults at the women, breaking them down while the cameras rolled. And when it came to working on music, Dawn claimed it got even worse. She said Diddy would force her to rehearse for hours, with no rest, no food, no sleep. Just pure exhaustion. And in that vulnerable state, she claimed he took advantage of her. But didn't stop there. Dawn also dropped a major bomb. She says she personally saw Diddy get physical with Cassie while he was high. That's a first-hand account. And if true, it could shake up this entire case.
The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Now let's talk about the men connected to Cassie. Michael B. Jordan's name came up, but not because he's accused of anything. He was mentioned in Cassie's lawsuit due to a flirty vibe they had back in 2015. But the prosecution? They're planning to pull in as many of Cassie's exes as possible. And we already know why. Kid Cudi's name stands out big time. Cassie admitted to having a brief fling with him in 2011 during a rough patch with Diddy. And when she got back with Diddy, he found old emails between her and Cudi, and he snapped. According to the lawsuit, Diddy was so furious he made sure Kid Cudi was at home before blowing up his car. And guess what? Kid Cudi's car really did blow up in his own driveway. That part of Cassie's lawsuit wasn't some wild exaggeration. It happened. Now, with this trial heating up, even more names are expected to drop. But like I said earlier, Prince being involved? That was a plot twist no one was ready for. And now, folks are asking, did Prince know something? The whispers are getting louder. Some people are wondering if that mysterious tape he allegedly had on Diddy could have played a role in his own death. It's a chilling thought, but when you start putting the pieces together, it really makes you stop and think. Because here's the eerie part. Just days before Prince passed, he knew something was coming. He posted a photo of himself with a now-deleted caption, "Just when you thought you were safe." Like what? That message alone gives you major goosebumps. And at his final appearance at Paisley Park, after reportedly getting some kind of medical treatment, he told the crowd something strange. Wait a few days before you waste any prayers. What kind of person says that unless they feel something's about to go down? And then, boom, Prince is gone, found unresponsive at his estate in Minnesota. Officially, the report said it was an accidental fentanyl overdose, supposedly from counterfeit Vicodin pills. But let's be real, people never bought that. Prince was known for his clean lifestyle. No drugs, no mess. So how does someone like that end up dying from a synthetic opioid? Did Prince have health problems? That's what people keep asking. But let's be honest, there's way more to this story than just his physical health.
Your life and getting you into rehab.
Yes, he did. I had a long time kind of battling those things, and after my father passed, it got really bad. And so I called up Big Bruh to help. He said, okay, when and where.
See, Prince wasn't just an artist, he was a fighter. For decades, he battled major corporations over ownership and control of his music. He was relentless about protecting artists' rights and making sure they got their money. And some say he paid the ultimate price for standing his ground. There's long been speculation about whether Warner Brothers had anything to do with what happened to him. Nothing's been proven, but if you ask his fans, a lot of them are convinced there's more to the story. They believed the very system he fought against might have had a hand in silencing him. Prince signed with Warner Music way back in 1977, when he was just 18. His first few albums, between 1978 and 1981, didn't blow up, but Warner kept him. He was already seen as a visionary, the kind of artist that added legitimacy to their label. And they weren't wrong. Then came 1982, just a year after MTV launched. Prince dropped more music, hit the top 10 in the US for the first time, and changed the game. He wasn't just making music, he was building a whole mythology around himself. He knew the power of visuals. He understood that a music video wasn't just promo, it was a weapon, a way to shape his image, control his narrative, and stand out like no one else. By the time Purple Rain dropped in 1984, Prince wasn't just a superstar. He was a full-blown cultural movement. Fans were copying his look, his sound, his everything. He was the biggest and most electrifying name in pop. No question about it. But behind the scenes, Prince was fed up. He hated that Warner Brothers owned the rights to his name and every piece of music he released under it. Imagine being one of the greatest artists alive and not even owning your own name. So what did he do? He flipped the whole game. Prince changed his name to a literal symbol, that iconic squiggle. People started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince, and he made it loud and clear. He was in a war for his creative freedom. He spoke out. He didn't hold back. Now here's where it gets messy. Did he? He was cutting deals with the very same folks Prince was trying to expose. Diddy inked a massive joint venture with Warner Music Group. Yep, that Warner. The agreement gave Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records. Warner took over digital and physical distribution of Bad Boy's entire catalog, past and present, and helped manage their roster worldwide. And did Diddy brag about it? He was proud of that move. He publicly said, "There have been a lot of boutique labels that come and go, but we're still here." He bragged that this partnership gave them the financial firepower to keep dominating the game.
It wasn't hard at all. It was a 2-second phone call. He's gone. I had been preparing for 2 years, so I knew that it was coming.
What does that mean?
He said it a couple of years ago.
What would he say?
What he said was, "I've done everything that I've come to do." So I was crushed for about two.
And here's where things start to get really spooky. Word is, Prince might have known all about those freak-off parties Diddy was hosting, and he wanted nothing to do with them. According to Jason Lee, the first wild Diddy party he ever went to was at Prince's house. But Jason said something weird stood out. Nobody was allowed to bring their own security. Think about that. Prince let Diddy use his mansion for these over-the-top parties, but made sure outside security stayed out. Sounds like control was very intentional. And knowing Prince, private, calculated, always watching, you gotta ask, what if the security cameras were rolling the entire time? This is Prince we're talking about. He was always ahead of the game. What if he recorded everything and stashed that footage, or passed it along to someone he trusted before he passed? Now, with rumors swirling that his name might pop up in this trial, people are connecting dots, and the picture ain't looking good. What if Prince knew too much? What if those tapes exist? Could that have something to do with how he died? And here's the part that really hits hard. Prince's sister, Tyka Nelson, once said he told her he was in trouble just days before he died. People used to think they weren't close, but insiders say otherwise. They shared more than just blood. They shared secrets. Back in 2018, Tyka opened up about just how deep her bond with Prince really was. She said they were super close growing up. Their parents even told Prince it was his job to look out for her. So wherever he went, she was right there with him. It wasn't just sibling love, they were tight like that. And it wasn't just emotional support. Prince saved her life at one point, when Tyka was battling substance abuse. It was Prince who stepped in and got her into rehab. He didn't just watch her spiral, he acted. That's the kind of loyalty they had. But here's the part that'll break your heart. Tyka said that when Prince realized his time might be running out, he started preparing her, not just days before, but 2 whole years before his death. Like he knew something was coming. That's some deep, unsettling foresight. She even told the Minnesota Star-Tribune that during her last phone call with him, just 4 days before he died, something fell off. She tried to talk to him seriously, but he kept dodging her questions. Every time she got real, he'd change the subject, crack a joke, and they'd laugh for a second like old times. She said, "I asked him, 'How are you really?' but Prince didn't open up. He knew something was weighing on her, and he definitely had things on his mind too, but he kept it all locked up." That silence? It spoke volumes. Whatever he was dealing with, he chose not to say it out loud. And maybe that was his way of trying to protect the people he loved. What we do know for sure is this. There was a lot going on behind the scenes in the final days before Prince's death. Whether any of it ties back to Diddy is still one big tangled mystery. And if Prince's name actually ends up getting dragged into this courtroom chaos, only time will tell. But now, I want to hear your thoughts. Could Prince really have had recordings of Diddy at those freak-off parties? And if so, why didn't he ever expose them? Was he planning to? Drop your take down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's been following this wild story. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next explosive update. Because this saga, it's far from over.